When a not-so-noble person gains superpowers, what will they use it for? The movie Chronicle answers this question. It was the most realistic superhero movie. It doesn't have those typical hero-villain dynamics, no flashy effects, and not even cinematic framing. What we see is all from the first-person perspective of the camera. The three main characters are just ordinary people like you and me, but suddenly gain superpowers. Their good and evil are magnified infinitely. Some seemingly turn from honest individuals into demons. But is it possible that the demon was always hidden in their hearts? It's just that before, they didn't have the ability to unleash it. Hi everyone, welcome to Happy Movie. Chronicle, the best superpower movie so far. Full of a sense of realism. Let's watch it together. Andrew is adjusting the camera he just bought. He wanted to use it to record the beautiful moments of life. But things didn't go as planned. His dad is violent and easily angered, enjoying hitting him. His mother is seriously ill. His female classmate doesn't enjoy being recorded, while others enjoy capturing moments of Andrew being bullied. Andrew filmed the whole day, but didn't capture the scene of eating. If you want to say what's bright in Andrew's life, it's that he has a good cousin. The cousin is good to him, afraid that he's too lonely. He even takes him to parties. It's at one of these parties that Andrew meets a classmate named Steve. Steve is a friend of the cousin. Actually, he's everyone's friend. He's a natural socializer, getting along well with everyone. They notice something more exciting around the party. A strange hole is emitting piercing sound waves. There's a saying, 3 men make a tiger, meaning 3 people embolden each other and become particularly bold. They gather their courage and dive into the hole. They see a large mysterious crystal emitting a blue light. The piercing sound waves come from here. Steve can't resist touching it. The crystal turns red, and he starts bleeding from his nose and falls to the ground. Andrew is scared and turns at the camera. When the camera is turned on again, it's already 3 weeks later. Steve is unharmed and wants to record their new experiment. They stand in place and throw a ball to each other. But what's there to record in that? Suddenly, Andrew makes the ball float in front of him. It seems that after touching the crystal, they all have superpowers and can move objects with their minds. But using the power too much will cause nosebleeds. They were curious about the reason and wanted to explore the hole again, but the police had already sealed the entrance, prohibiting them from returning. The reason given was unstable ground. Anyway, they would rather have fun than go back to the hole. They learn to fix the camera, throw small stones, lift a girl's skirt with telekinesis, and no more nosebleeds. The cousin speculates that this ability is like muscles. Overuse can cause tearing, but proper use can lead to strengthening, so they become stronger. It sounds good. 3 of them start a series of exercises again. They manipulate a teddy bear to fly, scaring children to tears. They even bully the waitress, moving the cart while she's collecting them, causing her to break dishes. They even use telekinesis to move someone else's car and move it into another parking space. The owner comes back, thinking the car was stolen, and they can't help but laugh. These pranks are not very ethical, but they enjoy controlling everything, feeling the pleasure of watching others make fools of themselves from the shadows. It gives them a sense of superiority over others. They are excited as they drive home, but there's a road rage behind them. Andrew waves his hand, and the car is pushed through the guardrail into the river. The other 2 are shocked. Andrew apologizes, saying it wasn't intentional, but trying to use their power to get the car out is too difficult. They swim into the river and rescue the driver. He didn't die, but had to stay in the hospital, and the car was totaled. The cousin has a higher moral standard. He's very angry about this and immediately sets 3 rules. 1. Do not use the ability on living creatures. 2. Do not use when angry. 3. Do not use in public, as it will expose them. Andrew is boring. Doesn't this mean they can't use their abilities anymore? The next day, Steve called them to an abandoned construction site to show off his new skills. He lifted himself into the air, achieving levitation. After several attempts, they all unclocked the superpower. They soared into the sky. It was cold above the clouds, but there were no onlookers. They could freely use their superpowers. While they were having fun, a plane suddenly appeared. It didn't hit Steve, but it caused him to stall. Andrew accelerated in midair, catching Steve and landing safely. Steve was very excited. He shouted and hugged Andrew, running around ecstatically. It was the most exciting day of their lives. The next day, they became more calm and discussed what to do next. Andrew wanted to go to the highest plateau in the world to bet. The other 2 agreed, but even if they could fly there, it was too far. They decided to go some other time. They thought the immediate concern was to make Andrew happy and get a girl for him. He is the most skilled in using superpowers among them. They had Andrew participate in a talent show. He performed a show using his abilities. Although it was using abilities in public, it didn't violate any rules, because the audience thought it was an amazing magic show and cheered. This was just part of the plan to get him out of being single. Cousin had Andrew carry the title of Magic King again, seizing the opportunity to join the party, making him the center of attention. A girl who seemed experienced pursued Andrew, drinking, kissing, and chilling. The 2 friends were as pleased as old fathers, thinking that Andrew had finally grown up. But unexpectedly, screams suddenly came from the room. It turned out that Andrew had drunk too much and vomited on the girl. If it was Steve, he might have laughed it off, but Andrew is fragile and insecure since childhood. He had his newly built confidence shattered. Being scolded by the girl made his confidence completely destroyed. The next day, Andrew was already in a bad mood. His mother's condition worsened. His father not only didn't look for medicine, but also vented his anger on Andrew, threatening to hit him. Long gone were the days when he would just take the hits. He fought back and hit his father. But could this solve the problem? He flew into the sky to find peace. This time, he used his abilities extensively, causing a reaction in the other two, making them bleed from their noses. But Cousin had a girlfriend at the time and didn't think much of it. Steve, being more attentive, flew over to check on Andrew in case something was wrong. But Andrew just found Steve annoying. No matter how much he tried to drive him away or warn him, it was useless. At his most irritated moment, a lightning bolt struck Steve directly, killing him. It's worth noting that this lightning bolt, when I watched it a few years ago, I thought it was just a coincidence. But now, I realize that Andrew deliberately controlled the lightning to kill Steve. There are two pieces of evidence for this. At Steve's funeral, Cousin was very unhappy because he knew Steve wouldn't fly into a storm for no reason. And according to scientific observations, there was originally no lightning in that storm. Cousin couldn't understand how Steve could be electrocuted without lightning. He implied that he suspected it was all caused by Andrew. Andrew faced Cousin's questioning without saying a word, avoiding the issue, because Cousin guessed it all correctly. He cried at Steve's grave, blaming himself for losing control of his abilities. Combining these two points, it's clear that Steve was killed by Andrew. After crying, he didn't learn his lesson, but changed to a cold face as if turning a page. He would deal with anyone he didn't like. What made him become this? Through this self-talk, it can be seen that recently he has learned the wrong information online. He has built his own top predator theory. Because humans were once top predators, so humans killing FLIs doesn't need to feel guilty. And because he has surpassed humans to become a new generation top predator, he doesn't need to feel guilty about killing humans either. This theory proves that Andrew has gone crazy. However, Andrew's violence can't solve all problems. For example, the medicine urgently needed by his mother must be ordered through a doctor, and the doctor needs to be paid first. So, Andrew had to go get money first. He put on a mask, and first robbed the local gang of their cash, but it wasn't enough. He then attacked a gas station and sucked all the money into his bag. Unexpectedly, the owner of the station tried to shoot him. He blocked a shot and blew up the gas station. He also got injured in the explosion. Andrew was unconscious for a day and a night. The police treated his injuries and restrained him, but they allowed his father to visit him. His father lay on him and suddenly burst into tears. Could it be that he actually had a gentle side? Yes, but not entirely. Last night, when Andrew got into trouble, his father came out to find him, with no one to care for her. His mother had a seizure and died. His father hated himself for going out last night. Even more, he hated that Andrew for causing his mother's death. In fact, Andrew was already awake. When he heard to this point, he blew up the entire room. On the cousin side, he had actually wanted to talk to Andrew, but Andrew had always been closed off. He said he couldn't understand him, and he couldn't beat him in a fight. Tonight, the cousin suddenly started nose bleeding. He guessed Andrew was going crazy and rushed to the scene. At this time, Andrew was lifting his father and about to throw him downstairs. The cousin flew in to save Andrew's father. He didn't want to attract more attention and prepared to leave by car. The scene was like a disaster movie all the way. A helicopter crashed from the sky. A cop was thrown into the sky, and a police car was sucked into the air. All of these were Andrew's handiwork. He was like a ghost in a patient's gown, wandering in the sky. Behind him was the iconic Space Needle in Washington. Many curious tourists took pictures of him, and he vented his anger without restraint. The cousin couldn't just stand by. He flew up to advise Andrew not to indiscriminately kill innocent people. They could still run away and continue to be a family. But Andrew couldn't be reasoned with now. He lost his mind already. Yet, he considered himself a top predator. Even the cousin was lower in his eyes and could be swatted like a fly. Then, he crashed a bus into cousin. The cousin was slammed into the building. But Andrew wasn't done being angry. He wanted to kill all the onlookers. However, he was severely burned and couldn't stand steadily. The cousin took the opportunity to rush back and fight with Andrew. They weren't like other superheroes. Their fighting lacked skill and wasn't graceful. It was like two people fighting on the street. Andrew electrocuted himself by hitting a lamppost and was knocked out. The cousin thought the battle was over and wanted to find a doctor to save him. But there were only police officers pointing guns at them. These police officers were just like Andrew. They didn't listen to what others said. Cousin tried to explain, but ended up getting shot by the police. Andrew woke up and found the police cars annoying, so he overturned them all. However, both of them were severely injured. After a short fight, they both collapsed under a statue. The police surrounded them again. Seeing that Andrew wouldn't listen, they prepared to empty their magazines. Andrew was stronger than the cousin. He used telekinesis to control all the bullets and flipped all the police cars. At this point, Andrew believed that only by killing everyone could he resolve the hatred in his heart. He raised his hands high and gathered power for 1 minute. Shatter all the glass in the tall buildings. The cousin looked around and thought of a way to stop Andrew. He really didn't want to use this move, but for the sake of countless innocent lives, he had to make a painful decision. The cousin fell exhausted. The police speculated that these two suspects had already died. They gradually closed the encirclement. Unexpectedly, the cousin wasn't really dead. He flew up and escaped. When the recording resumed, the cousin had already arrived at the world's highest plateau, Tibet, and he brought Andrew's camera with him. Before turning dark, Andrew always liked to observe the world through the camera lens. It seemed to give him a sense of security. Now, the cousin used the camera as if it were Andrew himself, confessing his feelings. He apologized for assassinating him, but didn't regret it. He always knew Andrew wasn't a bad person. He loved Andrew like any brother would love his younger brother. Unfortunately, these words couldn't be said back then. In the future, he would reflect and become a better person. He would also investigate the origin of that mysterious crystal to give Andrew and Steve an answer. Before leaving, he left the camera in Tibet, so that Andrew could enjoy the beautiful scenery there, just like they had promised each other. Alright, today's episode ends here. Welcome to Follow Happy Movie. See you in the next episode.